Hey guys, I have a great interview today. It's basically a follow-up. We've done a couple different recordings over the last few years, and Steven is here. Hi, Steven. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. So the reason I wanted to bring you back on is because you have an incredible story. I'm just going to let you kind of give everyone just a thumbnail sketch of where you were and how you actually came to where you are right now as far as your weight and your health. And so why don't you just kind of give us a brief summary of that?
Back in 2015, I was weighing 610 pounds, and I basically wanted to lose weight. I wanted to retire here when I was like 48, 50 here, which I'm doing this year. So I had to find a solution to lose that weight, and I kind of got onto Joe Rogan, and I found out about keto. I looked September 1st. Took me about a month of studying, following Dr. Berg, Jimmy Moore, some of the originals back then. And October 6th, I basically started on the day of my birthday. And by 2 years later, I was down 344 pounds. And now it's been almost 4 years, and I'm down 367 pounds. And I've kept it off, and
Wow.
yeah, life's been great. So basically, the big weight loss was 2 years, and then I've been basically maintaining, building muscle, and just kind of staying in that same little category, but having really good improvements over the last 2 years.
That's what I want to dive in. Like right now, how much do you weigh?
I'm 242.
Okay.
I
And
can't seem to quite get down anywhere. Like, I'm pretty lean for my size. It's a weird one, but I'm doing a lot of muscle. I'm going up, so I'm kind of, for the last 2 years, I've been in that 242 to 248 range. I'm just kind of staying in there, but clothing size has gone down and stuff like that. So it's a different transformation.
Wow. Last year you came to our summit, and that was exciting. If we compare last year with now, not just weight, but any other health improvements that you noticed just from the last year?
Well, what I've noticed in the last year is, like I told you, I had water retention in my lower legs, and I was having a skin issue where if I just touched it, it was really weak and it was damaged. Over this last year, I've been doing once a week. I do a 2-day fast, and then every 45 days I'll do a 5-day fast.
Wow.
But it seems that my skin is actually getting stronger. I'm not having that issue. I still have the skin issue. It hasn't gone back because I was so big. I was an 8X, but just overall, like health, mental, traveling, like it's just amazing. Like, because from last year to this year, I was just kind of getting into where I was really skinny for a whole year. Now I've been almost 2 years,
Wow.
and just the whole quality of life, like easy to travel, work out, clothes, the way people look at you, and
Wow.
because you're in a whole new basic. I'm like a normal person now compared to where it used to be. So
Wow.
yeah.
For those of you that are watching, and you really don't know much about it, Stephen is doing a combination of ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting together, and I think you do one meal a day.
Yeah. So basically, now for 2 years, I've been doing one meal a day, and I do it about 8 o'clock at night, and it basically consists of like 2 hamburgers, some cheese, and some spices, and one big salad. And that's what I eat every day. And I do 45 minutes of cardio pretty hard. Like I do the rower. That's my new thing. I'm on the rower and the Concept 2 skiing machine. So those are my two ones I do. And I do that 45 minutes. Then I do usually a good 45 minutes of pretty heavy weight. So, and I do that 5 days a week. And then I'll do cardio maybe one day on the weekend. And I only have one meal. And plus I work all day. And there's a lot of days where like I travel quite a bit. I'll just skip eating for 2 days. Because, if I'm flying or I'm in airports, I just don't even eat. And to me, it's been going well, and I've been gaining quite a bit of muscle. That's what everybody keeps trying to tell me is like, oh, you're going to catabolic yourself. Like, you're going to start eating your muscle. But I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more size. And I'm very, very consistent on what I do with my eating.
Wow.
And the portions. And I don't know. I've been having really good results. So I don't, it's kind of interesting when Thomas Laurier is there. I want to talk to him about, because he's pretty big size and he does the keto. I want to, kind of compare to him what he thinks, but I don't think you need all that food to gain the muscle.
No, in fact, there's a couple points I want to bring up about that. like the real reason why keto and IF work so well from a scientific basis. But first I want to talk about muscle protein. Muscle protein, you know, if you eat a hamburger, for example, you're only going to get maybe 37% of that's going to be actual protein. The rest is like water and fiber and collagen and stuff that you're not digesting. So we're getting about 37% of it's going to be digestible protein. So, and then what happens is a lot of those proteins, amino acids, are going to be used for repair, replacement. But honestly, your body is not shedding or getting rid of protein as fast as you think. So we're constantly recycling our nutrients and our amino acids and our and other nutrients too.
And I work out most days. I'm working out fasted. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't understand. So I don't eat before I work out. So I've worked all day.
Yeah.
So I basically eat at 8 o'clock at night. And then I get up in the morning, I go to work, I get home at 5 o'clock. And then I basically go into doing cardio. I go into doing my workout. And then I'm actually feeling really good. And if I don't tell myself to go eat that day, I probably don't have to. And I still have lots of energy. I'm still doing like, you know, abs at the end. Like I do not lack for the energy and the strength, and I don't feel drained or anything. And then I basically go eat, then I relax, and then I know it's bedtime for me, but that's the way my day works out for me. I like eating later at night because then everything is kind of settled down and I'm ready for my next day, and then I start over again. So
I like what you're doing because the part of the nervous system called the flight or fight works during the day. At night, in the evening, things are winding down. It's called parasympathetic, rest and digest. So your body naturally is going to do a little bit better with digestion in the evening than in the morning, believe it or not. So then you eat, you go to bed, and you recycle all night long. But the point I was going to bring up is that when you do intermittent fasting, you cause your body to start to run only on ketones and fatty acids. And when that happens, your body then starts to recycle nutrients way more than if you're eating frequently, because it's kind of like you're adding a little bit of a so-called starvation stress, which is not really starvation, but if you don't eat, it creates a little bit of stress, enough to cause your body to adapt to that and start being very conservative with the nutrients. So you start recycling the nutrients. So the amount of nutrients you need is a heck of a lot less. That's why you can get by with a little smaller amount of food, because your body is running off your fat fuel, which is designed. And an average thin person has close to about 70 to 80,000 calories of fat as reserve. We only have like 1,700 stored calories of sugar. So it's not natural to run your body off sugar. So when you convert over to fat by reducing your carbohydrates, all these wonderful things happen with the cells, with the mitochondria, starting to have more energy, your cognitive function improved, your mood. So no, you're not going to lose your muscle. You're not going to wither away. But you know, if you actually ate probably 6 times a day and you try to lose weight with calories, you probably would have a lot of muscle problem, because you would still have the insulin resistance. I don't think when they originally tested you, did they ever find anything like a pre-diabetic state?
Well, yeah, I was a little bit high. When I was 6'10", I was around 11 to 8 in there. I was just on this verge of pre. But as soon as I started keto, I went back to the diabetes doctor, and I had dropped right down. That was even a month in, and I was right down. I was actually below 5. And then with my blood sugars, and then after that, I was cruising along like. And the thing about like me, as you probably understand, I've been pretty consistent on keto. The day I started, 4 years ago, I've never cheated ever.
Wow.
But if I do have like, Christmas, I'll have like an extra meal. I'll get some like hard cheese and some bacon, some salami. I will have maybe 3 times a year. I will have maybe 2 meals. But the really weird part about that is I don't feel so good, but I'm just trying to, do a little extra. I actually do better on the 1 meal a day. And then, I just went to Thailand for a month, and I flew. It was like basically 30 hours of flying. I went 3 days without eating. And on the plane, they're just like shoving food in your face. And I would just give it to the guy beside me. Hey, you want an extra meal? And I was fine. I was calm. I was, 8-hour layovers in the airport, didn't sleep for like 50 hours. It ended up being, and I was still great. So once you get yourself in and you stay on point with the intermittent fasting, I think that has been like my biggest secret, because I told you that when I was stalling out near the end of my keto and I wasn't quite losing that weight, it's when I switched that 1 meal a day. That's when I shot down that hard last bit of weight that everybody talks about. It was the intermittent fasting. And I started that in May. It's been 2 years now, 2 years and a bit. And I have never looked back. Like I swear by it. I try and convince a lot of people that it's the way to go, but they all think I'm a little crazy. They like, oh, you're an obsessive. But I said, you don't have to do that. Do a 4-hour eating window. But I'll tell you the secret for mine, and I've never felt better. I've never been more satisfied. Like, I don't even think about food.
Wow.
Like, the only reason I only have food at night is because I kind of need a little bit. It's time to, re-energize and keep on a steady plan. But it's an amazing thing if you can just stick with it, and it's the willpower. And once you get into that routine, like I told you, I've been heavy my whole life. I have never felt better in my life. At 48 years old, I have never been in better mental clarity. I've never slept better, cardio, everything. And then I get stuff done every day. The difference now is I get through my day. Like, I get stuff done. I remember stuff, like just the whole way life functions compared to where I was before to now. It's pretty amazing.
So
that's what I really like to tell people.
So those people are watching, they're going to want to know, you have actual physical cravings, and then you have the mental pressures of this, or social pressures of people around you that keep trying to push food on you. How do you deal? Well, I know that I already know the answer, but you don't have any more cravings. So that helps, right? Number one.
Well, I do a lot of social situations, and I get this all the time. And I was just in Thailand for a month, and over in Thailand, food is like huge there. Everybody like tries to feed you. They try to do it. I just tell them I only eat once a day. They think I'm crazy, but then you kind of explain to them and they understand. And then what they really try and do, they try and accommodate you, because over in Thailand, they cook with a lot of sugar. So I would tell them, order it without sugar, give me some dark vegetables, and I was having pork with, broccoli. And so anywhere you go in a social situation, you can still do keto. You just got to ask some questions and do it. I do a lot of business meetings where people go out for lunch. I just have a Diet Coke or I have a tea. And I'm sitting there drinking, and I was like, well, I feel bad that you're not eating. I'm like, well, no, I don't feel bad. I'm fine with it. You guys enjoy your meal, And then a lot of times, if there's a really kind of cool dessert that I like, that I think I would like to taste, I actually buy it for a friend of mine. I say, here, I'll buy you that. You eat it. Tell me how it looks, just for a joke. Because if the situation comes where they're kind of pressuring you, I turn it around on them and I'll buy them something. I say, you eat it and tell me how it is. But, so I kind of play the game. It doesn't bother me, but I hear that so much. Like, so many people, since I've been doing your videos, Dr. Berg, they've reached out to me on Facebook. Like, I mean, a lot. How do I do this and that? And I've tried to help quite a bit of people out, but it's the willpower, and they do good for a couple of weeks. And they're like, well, my family says I have to do this, or my work, and how am I not to eat? And then they drop off, and then they have 1 meal, 2 meals, and then they're right back to where they are. They cannot consistently stick with it. And it always seems to come back to, well, my friends say I have to eat, or my parents say I have to eat, or my family says I have to eat. And then they jump off and then they're gone. They don't give it time to actually stick together a plan and get there. You don't have to eat. You can have a drink. You can still be social. There is nothing in life where it says that you have to eat because somebody else is eating. And I've been in tons of situations. In that situation, I've never ate. I just eat once a day at night.
Wow. I'm in the same boat. Like, there's so many people around me that are either drinking or eating, and I'm the guy on the side just looking at them, their stomachs busting out. I know they have a fatty liver. They just don't have the understanding. And then eventually they come on board because they watch my videos. And of course, it's hard to, like I have the intention of wanting to help everyone, but they have to be ready. They have to be willing to be helped. But you're right. It's such a strong thing. Culturally, we're just like, it's all about food. You have to feed people. It's a social thing. But yeah, I'll just, honestly, I get to the point where I don't really care right now about offending someone if I don't eat, because it's my body. I feel like crap after. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm feeling great, and I'm not hungry, and whatever. I got to break this.
What it is?
What's that?
You know what it is? It's really weird. People want to know how I went from 610 pounds, and I honestly didn't know I did this. When I was 6'10", And then in 2 years, I was watching some of your success stories. That's how I kind of got on this. I weighed myself. I never really weighed myself that much when I was losing the weight. When I started, I just started losing the weight, and everyone asked me, "Oh, you must feel so much better." Well, tell you the truth, I started on October 6th. Every day just got a little bit easier. So by the time I was done 2 years later, October 6th, and I weighed myself, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm down that much." And I saw your success stories. They're down 60 pounds, 80 pounds. That's why I reached out to you and said, well, I did better than that in 2 years. It never really dawned on me because I just took it a day at a time. Every day got just a little bit easier and a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And before you know, but if you stick with it and you just don't have that extra bit, like I didn't do anything different. Like I never hired no doctors. I never hired no products. I just ate natural food. It cost me nothing, just what I would eat normally. And in 2 years, I lost it. And now since then, I've been following your system. Intermittent fasting to me is a miracle. I just think it's the most amazing thing. I've been doing it for 2 years nonstop. And that is where if people really want to have good health and a good life and live to their probably longer, that is the secret. But it takes a little bit of dedication. It takes a little bit of work and a little bit of understanding. But you don't have to jump into it right away. I tell everybody, you can get down from, we saw 8 hours to 6 hours to 4 hours, 2 hours. And then if you can get down to that 1 hour, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let your body actually tell you when to start to go more strict. And this summit, which is August 31st and September 1st, we have Thomas DeLauro's coming. We're going to hook him up with you so you can get some information from him because he's really into the workouts and the bodybuilding and that. And then we have 2 cardiologists who are keto friendly, which is going to be quite exciting because you would think all cardiologists are pushing the low fat thing. It's not true. And then even Dr. Mercola is coming. He knows a lot about health. I respect all the things that he's doing. And, he got in trouble because he's like, talking the truth about certain things, sensitive subjects, and he got attacked many times. But I really respect what he's doing. And there's several other people coming. So it'll be exciting for us to be there and you to be there again. Had you stand up last year, we'll definitely have to have you stand up this year too, just to give a shout out to everyone because there's a lot of people who came last year are coming again. So it's like a whole group of people that are just developing friendships and it's quite amazing.
Yeah. If anybody's there, they want to come say hi to me, come up to me, ask me some questions. There are a lot of them that reach out on Facebook. I get probably five to 7 a day.
Oh, I could imagine.
All over the world. And I don't mind helping. It's just that they don't, some are really good, but it's just tough. Like you said, like people, if they want the help, I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
But some people you can tell they're just a little in between and they're not 100%. Like a lot of it has to do with mental too.
Yeah.
But it's been a good year. I'm really looking forward to the summit this year. I'm actually, my goal kind of succeeded. I'm actually retiring at the end of October here. And I'm moving over to Thailand full time. So
what? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and set up a little, maybe help more people. There's a lot of expats over there and a lot of, and over there quite a bit. And so I might see what I can do over there on my retirement, a little bit to see if I can help.
Yeah. I guess you'll be able to live a little bit better from the dollar or actually the Canadian currency converted over. It's probably a little bit better.
Yeah. I would love to come down to Arizona, but your dollar just kills us right now. So it hurts me. So
I know. I'm sorry about that. I
got to go overseas.
Right. Yeah. But Thailand, you can get some healthy food there. I'm sure it's like
incredible healthy.
Yeah.
They got like fresh. They got like just down the road from here. They have like a fresh butcher. They have like fresh pork. They have a lot of pork there. Beef's a little more money because it comes from Australia, but a lot of pork, chicken, seafood. Great vegetables there. A lot of, bok choy, a lot of the darker green, morris, broccoli. One thing that really bothers me, they don't have salad over there. They don't have kale. Nobody has spinach. You'd have to grow that yourself, but they have a little bit of spring mix, but you just substitute it with broccoli and some of the other vegetables. And there's great chilies over there. They got a great amount of food, but one thing Thais do cook a lot with is they dump the sugar on every one of their dishes. Just spoonfuls. And one thing I've noticed over there since been going there for quite a few years is the population. There's so much fast food there now. And a lot of the Thai people are starting to get a little bit bigger. They never used to be that big. And you're starting to see it in the cities where a lot of the fast food in the villages, not so much, but in the cities where you see a lot of that fast food, you know, and you see it over, like in a lot of those countries over there, once you start getting that introduced.
Do they use MSG in their foods?
Probably they do. Some of the restaurants, it's hard to tell if they do because there's no laws over there.
Yeah.
But like the big one over there is Kentucky Fried Chicken is really big. It's been there for years. McDonald's is everywhere. And people, that's a treat for them to go out there instead of going to a nice Thai family restaurant where you get actually some healthy food. People think it's cool and fun to go to absolutely have crap food, you know.
Oh my gosh.
It's a different culture, but it's, you know.
I know in America, if you go to a Thai restaurant, you're going to get so much MSG. It's going to taste incredible, but you're going to fill up with fluid, and then you're going to be hungry in 1 hour because your blood sugar is going to come up. MSG will increase insulin by 300%. So it's pretty potent stuff.
Most of the restaurants that we go to over there, they're pretty wholesome. Like you get a full plate of Thai food, like, you know, something that would cost us $10-11. It's $1 over there, $1.40, $1.20. You can go out with 10 people, have 25 plates of food. You could have, like, say, 6 beer, a big bottle of mineral water. You know, over there is 30 cents. You could do all that for about $55. And we went out quite a few nights with 10 people with all that food, and we spent $55 Canadian, which is like $30 American. So the incredible amount, and like a Coke Zero over there in Canada here, like a bottle is $2.75. Over there, it's 20 cents.
Oh my gosh.
And a big 1.5 liter mineral water is 30-40 cents over there. So the food is really cheap over there. You know, living expenses are really cheap over there. So it's a good place to, and you know what, the best part is really warm. It's cold here.
Right.
I'm done with the cold. I want to go where it's warm.
Oh, well, wow. It's a great place to retire then. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but we'll come back. I'll fly back every year and we'll go to the conference this summit.
Yeah.
We're going to keep that up. So.
Yeah. I tell you, I mean, last year, weren't the people just incredible? I mean, just friendly, gung-ho, into it. I'm like, who are you guys?
Yeah, you know what the best thing is? After the summit, we were all in the hotel together there. We would get like 10, 15 of us all together. We would sit there talking, you know, asking about like what's going on. And the best thing, I met a couple of people there that it was one of the ladies that brought her 2 nephews who never even heard about keto, but just for support. So she brought her nephews. There was a lot of people like that, or the boyfriend or the girlfriend would come, but the people were there for support, and they learned what we've done.
Oh, wow.
And then it kind of builds up the community.
Yeah.
But you know what I still see is like, you know, I talked to you about the doctor. My doctor still says to me, he goes like, you've done amazing, but I just don't understand it. We weren't taught this way. Whatever you've done, it doesn't make sense. The cardiologist, everybody keeps telling me it's because they know what I've done now. They know how long it's been off. I've got all my blood work done. They're like, it does not make sense to us. We were never taught this way. And I don't know what to say to you, but just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. And so my doctor's like, can you give me some pictures and tell me kind of what you're doing? And so I gave him some pictures. So he's showing his clients, and he's actually on his own trying to do it. And there's actually a lady here in Calgary. She's a doctor who reached out to me, and she wants to start doing keto for her patients here. But they're also new, but they're doing like a hybrid thing of keto because they're still not 100% understanding how it works. They're too scared to pull 100% of the glucose away. Mm-hmm. But it's starting to open up.
Wow.
And the other thing I've been doing is I've been sending my blood work down to Dave, and I've been trying to do a study. So I've been getting my blood work, sending it down to him, you know, just to show where we're sitting there. So, you know, it's quite a nice community that we've created here, and the people that we met, you know, and all the great work we're doing. It's hard to convince people though. Like as you said, if people want to learn, I'll try and teach them. But when you try and teach them, they look at you and it's like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, well, here's links to this video. So I send them to yours. I send them to everybody's links. I'm like, they're like, well, I think it's all snake oil. I'm like, well, you can believe what you want. I'm, you know, evidence. You know, there's other people here that are evidence. But yeah, I don't even get into it anymore. I just like give them the information that I kind of walk away. If they want to come back to me and ask me, then I will. Yeah. That's kind of what my theory's been in the last year, because there's been so many people reaching out to me, and I don't actually tell them in public. I will wait until they ask me the question, or I'll kind of give them a suggestion. But I don't really want to go out and preach it because it's so hard with people. It's it's a tough one. If they want to learn, I'm here. But if they don't, you know, there's not enough time in the day some days for all that stuff.
I know there's a you know about my lab, my keto lab. You probably on the membership there because
Yeah.
you probably get a lot of people ask the questions. So I have a keto an intermittent fat. It's keto and IF lab on Facebook. It's a closed group. You have to apply, and then we accept you in there. But I have so many people that don't even know what keto is, and they're just signing up. I don't know where they're coming from, and they're like, "What's keto?" And so you can imagine, like I have almost 300,000 people just swarm in and kind of let me explain what keto is. But I think that the things are changing. This is not a fad. It's because it works, and anything that works this well is going to continue. So there's a huge push. I think it's like $1.4 trillion in the food industry that sell carbohydrates. So you have a lot of money that's anti-keto, and they pretty much own the news. So you're going to get a lot of this, it's dangerous, it shortens your lifespan, but the truth is that because it works, people will eventually try it, and it'll work for them. It's like I have so many success stories on the site. I have, I think, close to 800 success stories, 800, which is a lot. We get like 10 a day. And so if someone scrolls through and looks at that, they're going to be like, okay, there must be something to this. And we try to keep it simple. They try it, it works. They tell their friends. So it's like a no-brainer.
And the big thing about keto that people don't understand is, in the past, I've tried the Jenny Craig's, the diet centers, all those places, a lot of these doctors where they give you the vitamin V's. That stuff costs a lot of money. I'll tell you, keto, the only thing you need is you need your supplements, right? We talk about you need some of your zinc, your potassium. That's one thing you got to buy, but everything else is just food out of a supermarket. And it's so cheap. Like, I try to tell people, you do not have to change anything you do. You want to stay with me for a week, I'll show you how to eat. And if you tell me one thing of that's bad and you couldn't stick with it, then there's obviously something wrong with you. There is a few people that are so addicted to bread and carbs, they think they are. But I said, just let me come with me for a week. Eat what I do. You won't even remember it. But you don't have to go and buy all this expensive thing or have all this expensive advice. The only thing you have to do is get potassium, magnesium, some of your supplements we have because we know they work for us, and then maybe a little electrolytes when you're fasting a long time. But everything else is natural food. You get hamburger, which is super cheap. You get pork, is even cheaper. You can have pork, it's even cheaper. The vegetables, broccoli's cheap. Spinach, kale, it's all out there. Eggs, super cheap. That's what you need. Those are the staples of what you're doing. And that's all you really need to do keto. You do not have to go spend all this money. You can reverse your health. You can improve your life. You can have whatever you want in the future by just sticking to some simple food. It's a pretty simple plan.
I mean, think about how much money you're going to save just on not eating snacks, or you start doing intermittent fasting. You're going to save at the very minimum $400 a month, up to $600 a month, just from cutting down different things. So, you can't use that as an excuse. Like, oh, it's too expensive. It's not.
No,
you don't need
quit drinking.
Foods. Right.
No, quit drinking. You're gonna drink water, mineral water. Like, what I do is I get a really big pot, and that's what we're drinking, mineral water. That's why I tell everybody, don't drink reverse osmosis if you can find it. I've been really trying to educate all my friends. Do not have RO water. Terrible for you. I try to convince everybody to mineral water. That's what you got to have. So, but at the end of the day, what I do for like a flavor is I get a really big pot, like a spaghetti pot. I cook a bunch of tea in there. I add organic lemon and some sativia, and I just have like 4 big jugs, like in jugs. I just have iced tea. I make it myself. Wow. It's super cheap. It tastes great. So at the end of the day, you can have it. And I do have a Diet Coke when I'm out in a social situation, people are drinking. When I'm at a bar, I'll order Diet Coke, and it doesn't bother you at the end of the day, So you can still pretend that you're drinking something to get everybody off your back. You just got to make sure when you order it, you have to say 3 times, is this a Diet Coke? Is this a Diet Coke? Because people like to give you sugar. But at the end of the day, there is all these solutions you can have. And keto is basically, if you're on a really low income, you can still do keto, because I'll tell you, pork, roast beef, whatever it is, like hamburgers cheap, eggs are cheap. You can get some spinach that is cheap. If you can't afford the organic, then just buy the regular, but you can still you can buy broccoli, or you can have your own garden and make your own broccoli, make your own kale, make your own spinach, and then it's free. And that's probably what cost me the most money is buying the salads every day. That's my most expensive every month.
Listen, guys,
$3.99 a day.
if you can't afford the inexpensive things that he talked about, then you need to get another job. Okay?
Yeah.
If you still can't afford it, you need to find a job that pays you at least to cover, because we're talking like at the very most $10 a day, the very most.
And do you know what the biggest thing? Okay, so a lot of these people we're talking about that are type 2 diabetes, they're on medication. I swear, within a month, I dropped all my medication that I was on. I was 600 pounds. I dropped, all my medication, which costs a lot of money. Yeah. So if you just get on this and stay on keto, you will drop those expensive drugs that you have. So there you're saving money right there. And I know your guys' healthcare isn't that cheap, and drugs aren't that cheap. So if you just get onto keto, within 2 months, if we're under your doctor's supervision, you should be able to drop off. Like your blood sugar should be in control. You should get off statins. You should get off your cholesterol medicine. It should all drop if you stay on it and do it right. So you save money on your medication. You save money on your food. And then if you can get into intermittent fasting, then you really start to save money. So there's no excuse from anybody. And, I'm a busy guy. We're all busy. We travel. I travel a lot. And I eat out. But when you're eating out, you order a hamburger with an avocado slice, bacon, cheese, and a Caesar salad, a small one with no croutons. There you go. You have eggs. You order a hamburger with an egg, or you order broccoli with butter on the side. Always order your sauce on the side. Put it on yourself. It's so easy to order out. Or go to a supermarket. Go to a supermarket and grab stuff.
Yeah.
I was in Bangkok and I couldn't talk Thai and I couldn't really go to a restaurant. So I just went to a supermarket. I bought some Gouda cheese and some salami, and I bought a little salad, kind of made a little roll myself, and I ate that. At the end of the day, no matter where you are, you can find food that's on keto, and it's very simple to do. And once you get into intermittent fasting, just don't eat that if you can. If you have to skip a day, it won't hurt you. It's actually healthier for you, and you've done your automatic fast.
That's awesome. So. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate your time. I'm going to run and do some more videos at my studio right now, but I can't wait to see you again this year. August 31st, September 1st. I'll put a link down below for those of you that don't know about my summit, haven't signed up yet. You definitely want to show up and come, and you'll be able to meet Steven in person and some of the other speakers. It's going to be a great time. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'll be talking to you real soon.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.
Okay, see ya.